So what about family life?
Family life. Well, we were married for 5 years before we had our first child. I know that you were excited about having children, and I was like, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if this is something I want to do. And I remember we had a discussion about having a baby, and I told you, I don't want to do this. I'm not ready for this. I just don't want to do it. And I remember you getting so upset with me about that.
Yes, I did. I was very upset. I remember I dropped you up at your mom's house, and you said, I've got to go get a book. So she went in and got a book, and she said, could you go in the back seat? And it said, what to expect when you're expecting a baby. And I just about cried right then and there.
No, not just about. You cried. You cried.
Yes, I did. I cried. I started crying. I was like, I can't believe you did this. But our first daughter, Hannah, is the light of my life. She was my firstborn. We spent a lot of time together, and she was my best friend, my first road partner. And I remember the day she was born. It was just so much going on that day.
Wait a minute, you remember the day she was born? Because I remember that we were, I was in labor, and you left me. Your mom was there, my mom was there, and you started coaching me, and then all of a sudden you disappeared. And I was like, where are you? And like you were somewhere in the corner like, come on, you can do it. Come on, hold it. I was like, I don't even see him anywhere.
I was afraid. I was afraid. I will tell you that today, I was afraid. It was my first experience.
Mine too.
I didn't know what to expect, but I will say this, when I saw her, I fell in love automatically. And it made me realize and love you a little bit more. I was like, look what we did together.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. And then 5 years later,
the wonderful surprise that is Madison Haynes. She is 12 years old now. She's a fighter. I think she knew, she's like, I have to get here because it was a surprise. She is so funny.
Yes.
She loves life.
Yes.
She loves to be the center of attention, and she knows that everyone loves her. She knows this. So I think just the experience of being a mom, the experience of having times of frustration with my daughters, but still loving them.
Yeah.
And I know we have our ups and downs in our relationship. I know sometimes, they don't want to deal with me, and then other times they want to be under me. And just realizing that the love that I have for them is just an example of the love that God has for us.
Exactly.
And it's just amazing to feel that closeness with them.
I never thought that, I can honestly say that when I became a dad, I understood how God felt about me. I really did, because it was unconditional. It made me grow as a man, and it made me grow as a Christian. So Hannah is 17 and Madison is 12. And as I'm starting to look at them, they wanted their own personalities. And I have our 17-year-old is just such a good heart. She's very quiet, very introspective. And you can tell that her heart is just so beautiful. And then we look at Madison, and Madison is just a fireball. She just loves life. Everything for her is just to the fullest. And I look at that and I enjoy I enjoy both of them, don't I?
Yes, I do. And like you said, the fact that we have two daughters that came from us, and they have these completely different personalities. Madison loves to be in the spotlight. Madison loves to be seen, and Hannah doesn't. Hannah is not like that. Hannah wants, to just be quiet, to be still, and, to just see how they have matured, how they've grown. Is amazing. It's absolutely amazing to see that transformation in them.
I think one of the biggest things too is how we instill a connection with God, a relationship with Jesus. I think it's something when you see them when they were younger. We used to have our Bible studies, and how they've matured. to start listening, and they start to kind of ask questions. And now we're in this different stage of development where they're starting to be inquisitive about Jesus, and we have these great conversations during Bible study. I think that was something that was really, really awesome. And you can tell that the roots are starting to germinate with them. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of women they're going to be, how they're going to be in college and in high school, and how God's going to really do something in their life. I think that, and it all goes back to those times when we were together having these great discussions about the Bible and about Jesus.
And I know that sometimes as parents, we get a little frustrated because we think our kids aren't paying attention. We think they're not listening.
Right.
They're just doing their own thing. And I know, realistically, our kids are doing what they do sometimes from time to time. But I remember that, we were having a discussion in Bible study, and Hannah was like, "Are you listening? Are you?" And she's like, "Yes, Mom. You said blah 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 blah." And then she said, and Pastor was teaching on yada yada yada, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
She was paying attention.
Yes, our daughter was actually paying attention in church, and it was like, "Oh God, okay." I just see a little glimpse. I see the light.
Yeah.
I'm going beyond what I can see with my natural eyes, and I have to see them from God's point of view.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that. Just watching the growth and maturity, and giving them the grace and the space to grow and figure it out. I mean, I think we really do a good job of giving them a good sandbox to play in, where they can go so far, but then they have these boundaries, and they've really been good kids. We don't have problems with them going outside of the box and doing things different. I think one of the things about our family is that we have a lot of God, a lot of laughter, and a lot of humor, and a lot of time of us just being together.